Breaker 19. This is Bullseye. Bullseye going up the highway. What's your call sign?
It's Wet Whiskers.
Wet Whiskers, I'm Bullseye.
Okay, Bullseye.
Before you guys see these two trucks on the Gauntlet mountain, I quickly wanted to tell you what it took to make this happen and why we're comparing a 2500 single rear wheel truck against a 3500 dually. I got back to Colorado after a first drive event that Chevrolet had in Oregon, and a couple days later I got back on a plane. I flew to Bend, Oregon to drive this high country crew cab 4x4 Silverado back to Colorado, over 1,200 miles, and I spent the night in Utah and got bed bugs in the hotel, but no matter, to bring this Chevy to Colorado exactly for this test, it is so important because a new heavy-duty truck doesn't come around very often. They get redesigned only about once every 10 years or maybe longer. I asked Chevrolet for a dually crew cab 4x4, but they haven't built them yet. The two trucks you saw at their event were pre-production prototypes. So the 2500 truck you see here is the biggest and the baddest truck we can do right now.
This is the epic truck battle going up that Gauntlet between the two newest heavy-duty trucks.
Today we have the all-new 2020 Chevy Silverado heavy-duty truck versus the new Ram heavy-duty. It's single-wheel versus dually. It's Duramax diesel versus Cummins diesel. And the Duramax has a 10-speed Allison.
Yes, 10-speed against the 6-speed, inline 6 against the V8, and we're pulling a 16,000-pound horse trailer.
And we just completed the run. We're very surprised by the results. And by the end of this video, you will also be surprised.
Yes, I was going to say that. You will too be surprised.
The Gauntlet is the world's toughest towing test. It's an 8-mile stretch of I-70 here in the Rocky Mountains, 7% grade, over 11,000 feet. If these trucks can pull these trailers here, they can do it anywhere. Okay, so this badge does say 2500 HD, but Chevrolet is actually changing the rules a little bit. Let me show you the gross vehicle weight, because this is not really a 3/4 ton truck. Let me show you. And the gross vehicle weight is 11,350 pounds, which is over 10,000 pounds, where a typical 3/4 ton truck would be. So is it a 3/4 ton or 1 ton? Well, we're gonna find out exactly how it handles this test.
We get a lot of questions about, should I buy a dually or should I buy a single rear wheel? And so today we're going to answer part of that question. But looky here, in the door, the gross vehicle weight rating, it's 14,000. That's what we're used to a 1-ton being. 14,000 is pretty typical. So the Ram is falling right within the bounds that we're used to.
Of course, this is a new truck too, and they've updated the Cummins, but they kept the displacement still 6.7 liters. But now it's a compacted graphite iron block, and the output was bumped up. 400 horsepower now here for 2019, and 1,000 pound-feet of torque.
1,000, that's a lot. And then part of that's why this big radiator is here. It's a gigantic radiator head put in here, and this is the 6-speed Ison transmission.
The Chevy now has a 10-speed Allison transmission mated to their big diesel. And this is incredibly important because Chevrolet used to be at about 24,000 pounds of maximum towing, and now they're on the level playing field against Ram and Ford with maximum tow ratings at over 35,000 pounds. That's pretty insane for any heavy-duty truck. And I make you a promise, we will compare the dually trucks, but that will come in the fall. We'll have a big, really heavy trailer, and the new 2020 Ford will be there, and the GM truck dually will be there, and of course Ram is going to be there as well. And now for the first time, only on TFL Truck, you get to see these two in the real world with a pretty heavy trailer going down and up a big mountain.
Ram dually downhill begins now. So we're about 50 miles an hour, which is what we always do, right?
Yep.
And it immediately tries to slow us down.
Yeah, this is how these heavy duties have been doing lately.
So exhaust brake on.
Yes.
And we set the trailer brake controller to heavy electric. We have an option to do that.
Yes. Our test trailer today we've got from Transwest. It's this cool Cimarron, 32 foot on the floor with an 8-foot neck. And this is the North Star 4-horse slant with living quarters. It's like 11-foot living quarters short wall, they call it. Which means up here is where you sleep and you live in your couch, your kitchen, your TV. And then you have the bathroom and the shower. Now these are 17.5 tires, 16 ply, 8,000 pound axles. That's how you get the 16,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating of this trailer. And then looking through the back door, this is how we loaded this up. This thing is 12,000 pounds empty. We've got it to 16,000 pounds. And because it's a living quarters, meaning that the front part you live in, you get a lot of tongue weight up there. So we pulled all the water weight back here. So we've got 1 water tote and 3 barrels to get us to that 16,000 pound.
So that's first brake application.
That's the first brake application.
Oh, there it is. It downshifted for you.
Yeah, it did. It wrapped it right up.
So the automatic exhaust brake, what that does is it kind of maintains the speed. Maximum exhaust brake is just trying to slow you down completely.
47. It's hanging right there in a tight range. You
So
know,
that automatic brake control, exhaust brake is really working.
right. It really would be nice if I could go 50, but I'm not going to mess with this because this is good. This for the average driver pulling a trailer like this in the mountains, coming down off of a 7% grade. This is a good thing to have.
Yeah.
I like this. This truck rides so nice. It's smooth even with these big trailers. We pulled some really big trailers with this truck already. And, you know, it does really well. And I think this air ride gets a little better every year.
Yeah.
Let's check out the styling on these 2 top-of-the-line rigs. This is a Chevy High Country. It's as high as it goes in the line. This is the Ram Limited. It's as high as it goes in the Ram line. They have totally different looks, so you gotta decide which one you like the look of the best. A lot of chrome and a little monochromatic bumper on one. But this is the big rig look where it has the fender similar to what they had back in 1984. That's the design they've kept in it. And this is a taller version. Of course, you have the hood, but this one starts out as a taller truck in the front than this one.
All right, we're basically nearing the bottom of the mountain.
And holding 46.
And 2 brake applications, guys. Under the hood of the all-new 2020 Silverado heavy duty is a very familiar 6.6 liter Duramax diesel, and the numbers, the output haven't changed from the previous generation. 445 horsepower and 910 pound-feet of torque.
But it did gain 4 gears in the Allison branded automatic transmission.
Yeah.
And this is a V8. You know, V8, you think of acceleration, that's kind of what they've been known for. And look, it's got a hood scoop, a real hood scoop.
So this is going to be really interesting because Chevy and Ram have different philosophies, right? On how they program their exhaust brake, how the trailer brake controller is set up. In Chevy's philosophy, it's more automatic, behind the scenes, right? They don't show the driver all the options.
Right.
Chevy put the trailer brake controller here on the right side of the driver, which is really nice, easy to reach, especially for right-handed drivers. And you can control your gain here. And it'll remember your gain settings when you shut off the truck and come back if you set up the trailer. And the exhaust brake button is right here. It will tell you it's on as soon as you push the button, but then you have no indication that the exhaust brake is enabled. It's all automatic behind the scenes. All right, we're at 50. And
49, we're going to do the same thing, do the Ram thing. We're going to start slowing down. Now, that's the thing about the philosophy, like you talked about with GM on Chevrolet Silverados. They like to control everything with cruise control. your tow haul mode and your exhaust brake all ties into the cruise control.
Okay.
It's like now I'm finally speeding up.
All right, so let's see what happens at 60 when you hit your brake for the first time.
Right, and this does not have the auto exhaust brake like Ram did. It's a full exhaust brake.
There you go.
Okay, I'm going to lock her down to 50.
All right, so let's see. Is it going to downshift? It did.
Yep, it downshifted. And we got a 10-speed.
This is a 10-speed Allison.
10-speed, yes.
So we all saw the chassis that Chevrolet had for their heavy-duty truck.
Right.
And they put the gooseneck hitch a couple of inches behind the rear axle, and everybody was worried.
Well, I was surprised by it, and I kept asking engineers, and they finally gave me their answer that it's centered between, on the leaf springs, the hanger and the shackle. But, you know, I've never seen that done before, where a factory ball or even an aftermarket ball was 2 inches behind the rear axle.
So we got the real answer, guys. We weighed the truck empty, and then after putting about 3,000 pounds of tongue weight, which is maximum on this 2500 HD, we have the results. And the final number is that we lost about 100 pounds on the front axle.
And that's interesting because I've never seen, I don't think you have either, where when you weigh a truck loaded, that the front axle, usually the weight stays the same or goes up. This one went down 100 pounds. And at first I thought, well, there's kind of proof that it does affect it. But we're at max on this. We got the maximum payload with this hitch on there. And if it only lost 100 pounds out of the thousands of pounds we're dealing with, it's not a big deal.
So it downshifted for us, and now it's slowing us down to, what, nothing. So we have to accelerate to 50. So kind of the same thing happened with the Ram.
So you want me to accelerate to 50?
Yes, let's do it. So it's really kind of was two brake applications too.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm happy to say that braking performance was the same on both trucks.
Okay, that was very good on both of them too. Yeah, so I'll concur.
Okay. Can I drive up? Can I please?
Pretty please.
All right, let's switch drivers and go up.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? We're going up the mountain, dude.
You feel like a trucker?
I do. So we start usually at 30 miles an hour. And I'm going to put the hammer down now.
You got the hammer down, okay.
So the timer is on, the trip meter is on, and my foot is all the way on the floor. And I'm at 60 now.
You're wide open throttle?
Yep, still wide open throttle. So it took a little while with 16,000 pounds, but now I have to kind of step back a little bit and maintain 60. But according to Ram, and I double checked with them, there is no torque management in any of the gears.
So you got it all in front, huh?
So
how's the handling doing? The steering?
Oh, the steering feels great. It's not too heavy, not too light. The trailer is solid. The truck is just straight and true. These two trucks are top-of-the-line models. The Chevy Heavy Duty is a high country, most expensive, most optioned Chevrolet you can currently get. And of course, this is a limited Ram. Once again, the most optioned, the most expensive truck you can get. And the interior shows it on both trucks. But the Ram, with its 12-inch infotainment screen, just kind of takes the cake as far as tech. And what I like more in the Ram, you can actually adjust the trailer brake controller from light electric to heavy electric, like we did today. And when you push the exhaust brake switch, it'll actually keep the light for that in the center console to let you know it's on. We're passing a Prius in the fast lane.
Holy cow.
There's a Prius right there, and
you know, I think I can pass a Prius on foot.
I'm kind of maintaining 57 miles an hour all the way up this mountain. I can't quite reach 60. The mountain is kind of biting, and this is my maximum speed right now. It's just, this is what it does. And look at all my temperatures here in the center. I mean, oil temp 226, trans temp 170, coolant temp 217. So we might make it in around, just over 8 minutes. 8 minutes is a benchmark for us.
Sure, and that would be hard for a dually pulling 16,000 pounds to hit 8, but I don't think it's going to take till 9.
No. Right here, done. 3.6 mpg. and 8 minutes 25.
Well, that's awfully good. That's
Yeah.
very, very good.
And starting now. Woohoo! Wide open throttle. So it's behaving similarly to the Ram.
Well, you're pulling big trailers, you know, you're not going to be... Well,
Spinning
tell me,
tires?
Yes, did you think that you got 100% of the torque on this starting out?
I think I did. In the crew cab here, Chevy stretched the wheelbase about 5.2 inches, and they also increased the rear legroom. It is a bigger cab now. Boom! You can actually cross your legs here, so there's more comfort back here. Of course, for this new generation of the Ram truck, the cab remains the same as the previous generation truck. A little bit less legroom, as you can see here. I can still cross my leg, just a little bit less comfort here. The Chevy performed similarly to the Ram. Start out with kind of gentle, linear acceleration.
Yeah.
Then I had to back off at 60.
Right.
And now I put the hammer down again, and I'm maintaining 59 right now. So the Ram was at about 57, 58.
Yeah.
And I'm at 58 now too.
There you go.
Holy moly.
You're like,
But my foot is all the way down.
Yeah.
I can't press it any harder. Oh my gosh, it's a nail biter. 8, 12, 13,
Oh, man.
14.
it's going to be close.
It's gonna be so close. Now, 24. I think
Oh.
that's basically a tie.
Basically, it's high.
And 3.4. That's unbelievable. Almost the same, virtually the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, the ride and stability on this Chevy are, I think, top notch.
yeah.
I think the biggest surprise today was how close these two trucks were. The braking performance was very similar. The time up almost identical. The Cummins trip meter showed better fuel economy. So how do we decide? Dually or single rear wheel?
Oh, it's a very interesting contest. Now we're talking about a V8 diesel, which is normally a little faster,
Yeah.
and inline 6 usually builds torque a little easier. And you got a 6-speed versus a 10-speed automatic.
Yeah, but with this load, with a 16,000 pound trailer, about 3,000 pounds of the tongue weight, I would say go dually because you have extra capacity. The payload on the dually is over 5,000 pounds. You can put the rest of your family in there. You're kind of maxed out on the 3/4 ton or the traditional 3/4 ton.
But it's a really good contest. I'm glad we did it. And we're the first ones to do it.
Yes, we were the first ones to test the all-new 2020 Silverado Heavy Duty in the real world with a 10-speed. My goodness. And go back to tfltruck.com and where else?
MrTruck.com.
For real-world reviews.